Hi there, Sarah here from SH Millinery, and once again another video. Now this time I'm recreating or trying to recreate my mum's bridal headpiece, which she wore in 1957, and this picture is coming up now. And as you see, it's very typical of the 50s, so we're going to have a go at making this. Now what you'll need is millinery wire, millinery covered wire, millimetre maximum thickness. You'll need some bridal netting or veiling, a pair of pliers for cutting the wire, needle and thread, and that's all we need at the moment. So what we do first is we cut lots of sections, because I need 10 of the wire. And what I've done is I've cut them here, as you can see. Now they're about 7-8 inches long, only rough guide. And we're going to turn these into the petals. Now you need to figure out how big the petals need to be, and going by the original, they need to sort of be about ear size, so sort of like that. So cross over the end of the wire and bend it with your pliers to keep it in place while we fix it down. So, like so. It's quite stiff wire, this. Now to keep that there, I'm then going to wrap it with a needle and thread. So I've got a double needle and thread here. This is just an added thing to keep it in place. We will be covering the whole wire later, but we're just going to get it started. So I'm going to wrap it round the wire. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots. Because we don't want any ends poking out, we don't want anything looking nasty. And then we're going to fix that in position. Right. So, and then we need to turn it into the shape that we want. So just manipulate it a little bit. I noticed these were more leaf shaped, so I'm going to point the end and move out the side sections. It's a bit fiddly. So there we have more of a leaf shape. Now what we've got to do is rethread my needle. With the bridal veiling is I need to cut a piece that will go around this leaf. So I'm going to cut about there. I mean, I don't know what size your leaves will be, so you'll have to work it out. But there we are. There's a piece that should cover. And then I'm going to wrap the leaf like so. This is a bit fiddly because you've got to get all the edges down and try and get the pleats to the middle of the leaf so that it looks tidy. So pull all your net down so that it's neat and tidy, and all the edges can be caught in at the point where you wrapped your wire. So once your net is on, take your needle and thread again, pull down any stray bits, wrap, 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 so you've got a really firm fixing, and then stitch it in place. Like so. And once it's in place, just cut off most of the excess at the bottom. Ooh, should have got my smaller scissors. Just try not to cut through your thread. Okay, so there's our first one. And as I say, I've got to make 10 of those. So I'm going to crack on and come back to you in a little while. Right, so all my leaves, net leaves are made. And now I need to make a circle for the top, a little circlet. I'm using slightly thicker millinery wire for the top, and that's just because I think it'd be a bit more sturdy to attach the leaves to. Now, we only need a small circlet, and what I'm using is the top of this head just to give me a rough idea. So I'm going to cut some wire. I'm going to cross over the two edges, and I've put extra strong thread in my needle, double thread again. And I'm going to whip it together. So I'm going to go round and round and round and round. And this will take a little bit to do. I'll speed this bit up. So there's our circle for the top and all our leaves. On to the next bit. So here we are again. I've got my circle for the top and I'm starting to attach the leaves for the side. Now what you've got to figure out is that they've got to be equidistant. So work out where they're going to go like that. So I fixed the first two on, and all I've done is bent the wire at a halfway point onto it. Doesn't matter that it's wobbly. Now I'm just going to probably put a pin in it to keep it still for a minute while I talk to you. It's a bit unwieldy trying to do it on this mannequin. So let's just put some pins in, that's it. And on the other side. Okay. And then I've got to figure out where the others are going to go. And obviously they've all got to be bent in position properly afterwards. So I've got to have one here, the one there, and one there. So I've got to bend these onto my circlet at the top. And it is a bit fiddly and I can't really do it and video it at the same time. So I'm going to do it and come back to you. So what you can see is I've got all 5 hanging from the side. Doesn't matter that they're loose at the moment, but they're all bent onto the wire. And don't worry about how they look for the minute. Now to keep all this together, to cover it up, to make it look lovely, what I'm going to be doing is cutting long strips of the net. So, would have helped if I'd ironed this net first or steamed it. And so what I've done is all the leaves on one side have been covered, bound and put on, and all the leaves on the other side have been bound and covered and put on. They still need fiddling about with and shaping, but I've got to get on with the top. Now what I'm doing on the top is I have lots and lots of little flowers that I'm going to put on, and some beads that I've wired, and some stamens. And what I'm going to do is do exactly the same thing, attach those and use a thinner strip this time of netting to attach them to the wire. So you've got to work out how many you need, how it's going to go. Are you going to go all in one way round, or are you going to go from the middle and go that way round? So I've got to work that out. So I'm going to put my bits on and then whip them on with the net. And again, I can't, it's too hard to do this on the camera. I wish I could, but I can't. So here we are. I've put all the little bits and bobs, and as you can see, wound net to keep them all in place. And now I'm going to put it on a mannequin head and see how it looks. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been fun, but taken a long while to do. Thanks a lot. Bye. Now a little bit of bonus footage. I've made some much smaller wire structures, petals, leaves, and this time I'm going to use a pair of tights. Now I've bought a white pair of, ooh, they're sliding off, pair of white tights here. They're about 15 denier. And I'm going to cut off pieces of my tights to use. Just to show you can use other things apart from veiling. Yes, so what I've done is I've cut little pieces of the tights apart, and I'm going to cover them over with this. Now, the good thing about this is, as long as you've got something stretchy that you can get over, it'll work. It's a bit more fiddly with the tights because they tend to stick to the wire. So when you cover it with tights, it's better to have a fairly elongated shape and then turn it into your rounded petal shape once you've actually got the tights in. Well, that's how I found it best, but someone may come along and go, no, you should do it another way. But the tights are much more slippery, so they tend to be a bit more fiddly to get into place. Now you could run a running stitch all the way around the edge and drag it in like that, but it's a bit time consuming. Right, so I've done all my little ones out of a pair of tights. little things. So what I'm going to do now is put them all together. Now, regardless of the size of the petals, the middle section has to be together because you want to cover up. I've trimmed them obviously, but you want to cover up that nasty bit in the middle. So I'm going to put them all together like that. Just give the wires a twist to sort of get them started. Like that. And then get them going down. So I've roughly got them there. Now we need to cover that section. So what I've done is I've cut rather a strip of the tights. And you need glue for this. There's not, oh, my lid's come off. There isn't. And then when you move out your petals, no, that one's got to go that way. That one's got to go that way. You've got to fiddle about with this, but you'll see. And I haven't done perfectly the same size, but you can see how you can manipulate it.